And what is going on, everybody? You know what? It's Monday night. It's 8 o'clock. You know what time it is. It's time to start your week off right here on Played for Keeps the show on Nerd Initiative. My name's Off the Cuff Tom, Nerd Initiative's pop culture connoisseur. Now, tonight we're changing it up just a little bit. We're not going to be talking about one particular brand or one particular style or type of toy. We're going to be talking about everything that's out here because today is Cyber Monday. So we want to make sure that you guys are out there getting the deals that you can get. And at the same time, you know, Mickey and I have always talked in the past about figures and whatnot that should finally maybe end up on clearance. So we're going to talk about some of these figures that you see may finally be at that price point that you like. So you know what? This is just going to be an extended edition of Now, coming out of that, we also want to say we hope you all had a wonderful and fantastic and safe Thanksgiving. And we're also very thankful for all of our, everybody that's been following along here at Nerd Initiative. So, of course, we want to, make sure just to say thank you. At the same time, anybody who reached out and said, salutations and greetings to me on my birthday, I also appreciate that too. So let's get this started. I've got a whole slew of different figures and collectibles all over the internet from various sites that are still available for Cyber Monday. You will see some items are sold out, but let's go through, let's talk about them and see what we got going on. All right. So starting off, we're going to start with the big daddy of them all. It is Hasbro, Till All Are One. That's right. I was really surprised to see how many great items were here on Hasbro's site. So yeah, just scroll on through with me. Thank you. Happy turkey birthday. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate it. Assuming it's Lauren or Matt. I don't know. They co-host, of course, Hobbs Geek News and fantastic, family here on the Nerd Initiative Network. So I'll just smile and say yes and thank you to the Hobbs Geeks. But yeah, there's stuff all over here. Now I think I'm on like page 8 or 9 because I was scrolling through. So let me go back to page number 1. Get this all started off with. So on Hasbro's Cyber Monday, some really interesting figures like the Marvel Legends Electro, great, gorgeous figure. Was it worth $35 to me when it first initially came out? Not so much. Now, a $27.99 price point, I can get a little bit more behind. So I would say that's worth picking up. And then we've also got the Leader Class Transformer, Optimus Prime from Age of Extinction. 34, yeah, I can deal with that. Wheeljack, next. We all know how I feel about that particular Wheeljack. The War for Cybertron Ironhide, like that's gorgeous. That's a beautiful figure. And for 28, yeah, I can get behind this. Again, I have my feelings when it comes to Hasbro and where exactly they try to price things. And I think since a post-COVID world, they're still thinking that they can't get their hands on plastic. Now, again, the the Marvel Legends Marrow, if you're somebody who's been collecting like the Gamerverse stuff, this will go perfect in your Marvel vs. Capcom lineup. I recently did pick up for myself the Flash Thompson Agent Venom, awesome figure. I do also have waiting for an unboxing video soon and shortly as things fall behind me. I also have Agent Anti-Venom from the Magic the Gathering line. But don't worry, folks. We've got a ton of unboxing and toy review videos coming up. There is so much coming up for 2026. Seriously, it's just going to be, it's crazy. It's like pickup sticks. Scrolling down, we've got the Aerial Bot Air Raid. I appreciate, now I know we talked about this when we were doing Cybertronian in September, which you can go back here on Nerd Initiative YouTube and check out that episode. Wasp, the Waspinator figure. Now this is a play, this might be in the Age of the Primes line, but this is a upgraded version of what you would see in Transformers Animated. I love this figure. I might still pick this one up, especially with it. It's $16.24, and once you get to a certain price point, you usually get a nice cut on shipping. The Red Alert, again, a great figure. That's Red Alert from the Unicron trilogy. I can't believe that this Grimlock, which I saw in store like literally a week ago, was $55, and for it to go down to $35.74 tells me one of two things. One, nobody knows who the little character is, and two, nobody asked for G2 colored Grimlock, but they tried. And you got to give Hasbro some credit because they followed through on this whole G2 lineup and did also all the other Dinobots in the G2 coloring. Solus Prime, I think that's a great price. Prima Prime, again, another figure that we'll be getting unboxed shortly. I like this one. Solus, I definitely would pick up. I think it's a great price there. I don't understand why the difference between Solus and Prima Prime, even though they're Voyager and Deluxe class. Yeah, I get that. But for the sheer size of the figure, that's where I start getting this is where I start nitpicking prices. Like, okay, so Solus is going to have less transformation. Prime is going to take more because, if you take a look at another figure like Megatronus, which is, the next level up, because I can never get these different levels, Deluxe and Voyager or whatever, Titan class. Yeah, this is 38 steps. So you take that all into consideration, but I just can't figure it out. Yeah, so Grimlock and Megatronus would be a leader class because it takes so many extra steps, I'm assuming. Kelnaka from the Black Series from the Acolyte. This will be ending up, I don't care, I'm going to say, this will end up at your Ollie's. It will end up at your Ross's. Cap Shield, great piece to get, especially if you got one of the Marvel fans. Rise of the Apes, Ape Link. Again, Ape Link, this is where I start questioning, like, why is it this price? And then now it's down to 41. And like, yeah, I can still wait till it goes on a clearance peg. Red Hulk, I'm sorry, but you really need to retool this face. It still looks too much like Ruffalo. Voyager class, Rise of the Beast, 102 Optimus Prime. If you need an Optimus, if you need the Pumpkin Spice figure, go for it. You'll already see, like I said, a lot of things might be sold out. So you take a look here. G.I. Joe classified retro card of the Cobra Viper. It's already gone. We're going to do one more page here on Hasbro because I've got a ton of other tabs. You can see right here, right there. I'm glad that this is working out nice and smooth. But seriously, there's 6 pages of stuff on Hasbro. Please go and check them all out. Staying in, the G.I. Joe classified. Sadly, Dr. Mindbender and Rock and Roll, God rest them, are already sold out. That was one rough issue. Make sure you can go check out that review on their initiative. Studio Series Galvatron, movie Galvatron. I think this is a right price. Would I say it should be a leader class at $55? Like, if they're just going to say, oh, hey, we're going to call something leader class and bag it right at $55, I'm not sure about that. Deluxe class, Rise of the Beasts, Double Punch. I'm not familiar with this figure. This would have probably been one made just in the line. Skywarp, again, one of the Seekers. Can't go wrong with that. I think that's a great price, especially for the Voyager class. You're going down here to Hatchet. Not familiar with that character specifically from Dark of the Moon, but it's been on. Now, this is not just Transformers and G.I. Joes and everything. Hasbro makes other things. This is everything that's on their Black Friday. So you've got Monopoly Board Crawl. I'm not familiar with this one, but if you take a look, it is a faster version of Monopoly. It only has, it's missing one cyan, one magenta, one orange, one red, one yellow, one green. So it's made it a faster game. So that might be, something a little easier for you. We go down to the Studio Series. We got the Transformers 1 Bumblebee. We got Transformer 1 Sentinel because he's a dick. And unfortunately, oh my God, I wish I would have saw it sooner. Tarn from the comic books, the Transformers comic books. Amazing character. He's Tarn. That's it. Just the vileness in the name of his name, Tarn. Just you should buy it. The only Transformers in G.I. Joe matter. Hey Daniel, how we doing this evening? Hope you had a wonderful holiday, dude. Leatherneck. we got here. The Dreadnought Xandar is gone. I'm really liking this Armada Wheeljack for the design, but you know me, I'm classic. I need the Wheeljack with the light up faces. I have the Origin Bumblebee up here. I love that figure. Overcharge, not familiar with. It kind of looks like it was a repaint of maybe Astro Train. Keep going down here. See, now here's a perfect example of what's going to be a peg warmer. Ladies and gentlemen, Deidre Merrow from a coworker me of Cosmos. I know your coworker picked you up Cosmos and Armada Wheeljack Walmart 2-pack. I am jealous as sin because Cosmos is one of those figures. If you remember, we go back to that particular episode. So thank you, Daniel, for rubbing it in. Just put all the salt in there. I appreciate it. Cosmos is my boy, dude. I did. Thank you again for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. But getting back to what I was saying, coming out of Andor, this particular imp, she'll be on a peg one day at your Ollie's, your Ross's, wherever you pick up your figures. Road Pig, not familiar with that character. I'm guessing that might be comic book related. Then we're getting into the Spider-Verse again. This Spider-Punk action figure of Hobie, I've already seen a peg worm in other places. This Spider-Gwen. Now, I have the Spider-Gwen sitting up here. It's a nice figure, really nicely painted. The detail in the arms is great. The tiny little details in the chucks on are fantastic. She also comes with Spider Bite, the little helper. I don't even know where that figure is at because I didn't like it. I only wanted it for the Gwen. The downside to this one is they didn't tool the feet very well on this. Like if you have an old Sabine or an old Rebels Ahsoka or even Hera, they have the tiny feet. This one has tiny feet, but there's no decent spots to put pegs in or to put a stand. So beware on that one. If you have a way to support that figure. Road Pig was a G2 toy. Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. I appreciate it. Not familiar with it. I know there's also a Frenzy on this list on Hasbro Cyber Mondays deals, so definitely go and check it out. Pavid Pakbar, Spider-Man India is on here. Again, I hate to say it, at least two of these three figures should be on pegs in your stores, and it'll be worth like $10 eventually. And then we get down here. So pretty much everything that came out through Across the Spider-Verse is now on sale. Why? I don't know. But I also feel as if, this is just below the price point I would be looking to buy it at a normal time. I really think that these figures should be still around the $20 mark. Like I said, coming at it, you know how I feel about it. Now, we talked about stuff that's at a good price point. Now we're going to talk about stuff that's going to blow your wallet out of the water. We're talking about Sideshow collectibles. Now, folks, we're going to do one page of this because it's Sideshow. We know Sideshow makes gorgeous stuff, fantastic figures, amazing pieces. But this is the time if you have somebody. Oh, don't get me wrong. So Daniel also mentioned here Spider-Man 77. I have my guys keeping an eye out. Honestly, it's one of those niche figures that once it hits clearance, I have people that are just going to want them. So we've already talked it out. So going down here, we're on Sideshow. These are amazing collectibles. These are the pieces you want to put on your shelf because you love these figures. Me personally, I saw this Echo figure, and just so you know, these are large. I mean, look at the detail you got going on right there. Interchangeable hands, interchangeable arms, especially with Echo. 11.6 inches tall. Like this is exactly why Sideshow Collectibles is Sideshow Collectibles. They make the figures that if you got that nerd money, you spend that nerd money. They're just stunningly beautiful. General Grievous. And again, you might not be able to afford this, but if you have somebody that who's you want to go in a little bit with everybody, like these are just amazing figures. And the DeLorean. It's the DeLorean, and also this is the DeLorean out of Back to the Future 3 specifically. You can tell based on the patina and also the gear that's on its hood as well. But just these are stunning figures. If you have the money, or if you have someone that you really want to surprise with a figure, even that Death Watch Mandalorian is just a few what $80 off plus shipping and whatnot. It's worth it. If you really want to invest into a collectible, that's exactly what you're going to get at a sideshow. Now, I know a lot of these might fit together pretty well, so we're going to jump into the thing that really works for everybody. We're jumping into Lego. That's right. There is Lego galore. Hopefully this all comes together for you. The Lego Marvel and minifigures. This is probably, out of this and the Star Wars set that they came out with last year, the Marvel set I would say is the one to put your money in, because you get more minifigures. There's little tiny pop-ups. That's what I would spend my money on for, and yeah, you're only saving $20, but you know what? For Lego, for branded Lego, absolutely. 931 pieces. I mean, if I got my calculator out, I could do the math, but I don't want to. Fountain Garden, very nice, really nice. Sits on your desk. If you know somebody who's a writer, there you go. Get the typewriter. It's only $6 off, but it's something to maybe invest in. The Playful Cat figure, I think, is adorable. If you like the Animal Crossing, the Z-Blob, I don't know exactly which line it's in. I can see that there's a space, right here as I point to it, there's a space logo. So if it's related with classic space, I'm down for it. The cute bunny is always a good one. Buy this now, save it for Easter, kind of idea. You got Goguru in his hover pram. These the Star Cruiser is really nice. I like the fact that they started to scale down these Star Wars figures. You can definitely see there's other stuff from the Dreams. The visual dictionaries are nice. Again, it's not just all the standard Lego. Now that was page 2. Let's go to page 1. I had a lot of stuff loaded up. I was skimming for myself. Advent calendars. All right, folks. So we got to talk about advent calendars this year. I'm not a fan. Now, mind you, this is Frozen, which I think this is one of the first times we've seen it really done for a particular franchise in Disney. Like, we've gotten generic Star Wars, we've gotten Harry Potter, we've gotten generic Disney, and so on and so forth. But I don't think there's been one for Frozen. At $44 to get that many minifigs, to get 5 minifigs, not worth it. Same deal goes for the Star Wars, for the Harry Potter. I've looked at all the advent calendars this year, and I would say save your money. If you need that minifigure, find it somewhere else. Find it on eBay. I'm just going to say it right now. That's my feelings. That's it. At the same time, too, this is Frozen. This is in the Lego Friends line, so it doesn't scale with standard minifigures. $31.49, yeah, I guess you can get away with it for an advent calendar. But out of 24, 25 little things you're going to do, and you only get 5 minifigures, not worth it. Don't even bother looking at the Star Wars one. It's a joke. It really, truly is a joke. The Monkey D. Luffy figure, the Brickheads, not particularly a fan. My wife likes them. She's got Monkey D. Luffy upstairs. I think this is nice. Tells Lego one of two things. One, the Brickheads aren't doing as well as they think they should, or the licensed IP that they're getting isn't as good as they think they should. This Fire Chameleon set is from the Lego Dreams set. I love this. This is the kind of stuff that I wish I would have thought of as a kid, but to see it played out now, like when you would take your space figure and your cast figure and you mash them up together, that's what this Lego Dream set has been, and I'm really starting to enjoy seeing what's coming out of it. The F1 collectible cars, it's $1 off, but it's still something if you want to get it. Scrolling down again, the smaller versions of the Star Wars ships, I think has been a really smart idea. The Bluey set, cool. Again, that's in the Duplo line, so if you got the toddlers, have the toddlers. And again, with Lego being all over, if you got your Ninjago fan, there you go. And then there is the botanical playing cards. There's a Christmas tree puzzle. I think I have this set for different price points, but they're all over. The Wednesday Addams figure. I know my friend Teddy might be interested in this. I should actually message him about that. What a gorgeous, great thing. If you enjoyed the Netflix series, looking at this being half off tells you one of two things. Maybe we shouldn't have made this, or yeah, maybe we'll think about this next time before we make a Netflix series figure. Magic at Disney. That's a gorgeous. If you know anybody who's a Disney fan, I know my friend Christine, she would probably absolutely go nuts over this. The Christmas table decoration, poinsettias, reeds. Like this is the holidays right there. Castle Nocturna, $80 off. Again, this is out of the Lego Dream set, but this is where you start having fun and mishmashing figures and stuff together. If you like to have that type of, whimsy, have the whimsy. Again, there's a bunch of stuff over on. Here you go, a gel pen, a lightsaber gel pen. That's awesome. Is it the dark saber? I don't know. We're gonna switch it up. We talked Hasbro, we talked Sideshow, we've talked Lego. Now we're talking Big Bad Toy Store. Fortress Maximus, $170. I think it's finally worth it. Mumra Ultimate Super 7 with the LED eyes for $70. Yeah, because it has the integrated LEDs, sure. Bad Batch Elite Dark Trooper, Lion-O LED. Now, again, you'll go, well, wait a minute, why is Mumra more? The figure is stoutly bigger, so you definitely want to understand that. Anybody need a Ecto one? I don't. Again, these are amazing figures. Mondo, a Mondo figure for less than $100 right there. Mondo, less than $100 on Big Bad. Hello, go and get it. G.I. Joe, Ultimate, Storm Shadow. I would get this as, it's Big Bad anniversary exclusive, but still, it's Ultimates. Anything, that comes out of Super 7 in the Ultimates line is awesome. Party Wallop. I know I got him sitting right there. Great Transformer. If you're an old school Transformer person and you're not used to how many now steps you get into it, I just like leaving mine standing up. Fisto, or as I like to call him, Cyber Fisto, because this, Masterverse, like way teched out version. Does anybody need the Legacy Collection Tactical Throne? No? Okay. The Cowl. McFarlane. My goodness. Look at this. If you have the shelf space for this, put this on your shelf. Like, this is gorgeous. And it's only $35, $36. It's 40% off. I always like to think that sometimes when we get these Cyber Monday deals, a lot of figures are just, finally getting off the shelf. But again, all kinds of stuff. This is an absolute figure that I don't think should have even been made. Right there, the Superman multiverse kaiju. What was the point? The Moff Gideon helmet is $60. These things run typically at $100 each. So to see that it's at $60, it's got the integrated lights. Absolute grab that if you're a Star Wars fan. What else we got here? We've got Ultimates Ninja April action, Ninja April O'Neil from Super 7 again. So much stuff going on here. The Death Watch Mandalorian for $13. I'm sorry, that's going to be a peg warmer one day, and you'll get it for less than 10. If you are army building, or if you happen to be a someone who does customs, yeah, get a few now, or wait down the road. Yeah, that Moff Gideon, I'm annoyed. I have it. I bought it at retail. Is what it is. Hordak, One Piece. There's a lot of great stuff. I mean, this Huntress figure, it looks stunning. And what the heck happened here? I was really surprised. So we've got right here Black Series IG-12 and Grogu that comes with two little characters. I was really, really surprised that this dropped so much. I think it was overpriced to begin with at $35. I did buy this when it did go on sale at Walmart because I didn't pick this up when it came out because we have a whole droid section on my shelves. Um, but yeah, absolutely. Get this. Great figure. If you even if if you're a Star Wars collector, if you're just a Mandalorian collector, this was a great holdout to get, especially for Cyber Monday. Again, a lot of figures. I still don't know why Kelnaka is $26. That's literally way too much. All in all, it's a lot of Hasbro on Big Bad. You're gonna, every once in a while see something. You got McFarlane, NECA. I mean, if you're a 90s baby, Earl Sinclair, you can't go wrong with that. Darth Revan's lightsaber. This is the reissue. 140, I don't know. And mind you, it's 50% off. Was it worth 250, 280 in the first place? No. But yeah, that's everything we got seeing over at Big Bad. Now we're going to go to GameStop. GameStop has a bunch of pops. Why? Because ever since they went Think Geek before, they wanted to pops. That's why when you walk into any GameStop nowadays, there's literally tables full of I want to get rid of them pops. There's some lounge flies. Again, there's not a lot of big differences as far as their pricing goes. So take your time scrolling through here. I think there's a lot of great opportunities to pick up something, but be very, very, very careful as you're scrolling through. Yeah, some of these things I just don't get. Again, I'm not a pop guy. I have some, but do I need it? Zelda chest. Okay, cool. 45 bucks? I don't know. Will I spend money on that, Jeff? Absolutely. It's Jeff. Come on. We love Jeff. So yeah, that's going on over at Games Pop. I mean, now a sleeper, and we've talked about this before, is Best Buy. All right. If you ever get a chance just to go in your Best Buy and go back to the collectible section, go back to their clearance section once a month, you would be pleasantly surprised to see exactly how much stuff they get in and it doesn't sell. My local one is crazy. Now, buyer beware on this one right here. We've got the last Ronin full armored. All right. I think we all know by now that Mikey, all dolled up in his gear. That is an open box. Okay. Best Buy is trying to play on this one. A new one from Best Buy is still less than $25. So if you know somebody who's a hardcore Ninja Turtle fan, absolutely get this. If you are, and as someone who has several NECA figures, highly recommend. Their detail is amazing. And to get a NECA figure for less than 30 bucks, go for it. Super Smash Peach, again, nothing has a price on it. So it's a little buyer beware. This Age of Apocalypse Gambit, yes, please. Now take a look here. Why is it? This is the same exact Electro figure that we saw over on Hasbro for 20 some odd bucks, is only $17.50 over on Best Buy. This is where you got to take your time and look through your sites. Yeah, if you're an Age Apocalypse person, I would absolutely pick up this Gambit as well. So yeah, just take your time. This Fantastic Four line, I think this is another one of Hasbro's big screw ups. They should have made this a single one pack of all four figures, or do 2 and 2, because you know that after this mediocre Marvel movie, say that 3 times fast, it just wasn't going to sell. So I think if they would have done it in 2s and 2s, in 2 packs would have been great. A lot of magic cards at Best Buy. Whole cases, whole boxes. Like, what are you waiting for? Pokemon cards. Again, they just got all the stuff. And then randomly, here you go. Teva, or Carson Teva's helmet from Mandalorian. Hello, okay, see you. Appa, his helmet. Like, go for it. Up next, now I threw these in just because Master Replicas do some great stuff. But if you do happen to have a Star Trek fan, and if you watch, we've done some Star Trek stuff on here. There's the Badgie plush, but more importantly, the Moopsie. if you have someone who's got an office and can hang these up, full dedication placards from the different ships of like the Defiant, the Discovery, Voyager, Enterprise, the Shenzhou. Um, like I just wanted to highlight this because I almost want to get that Moopsie. I know we're not supposed to be buying any more plushes in my house, but it's the Moopsie. If you don't know what the Moopsie is, the Moopsie is wonderful. We all love the Moopsie. And then we're going to finish it up. We're going to head over to Entertainment Earth. Again, all over the place. And that's what I like. I like to see, like, look, oh, hey, it's Black Series helmet. Was 110. Now it's 66. The Stranger, who we might think it might be from the Acolyte. Hopefully they follow through on that. Master of the Universe Skeletor. Like, hello, it was $307. Now it's less than $200. Like, that's a great pickup just on the sale price right there. Gambit and Wolverine. Again, these are the higher end stuff, and that's okay. The Going Merry mini ship backpack. If you have a One Piece fan, go for it. If you have someone who's a Nightmare fan, another Loungefly with the sequence, and you flip them up and you flip them down, you flip them up and you flip them down. Like, Loungeflies are great little packs, especially anybody out there who wants to go to con or wants to go to a show or wants to go out and just have a day out and they don't want to carry a big bag or they don't want to carry their purse or their backpack. Loungeflies are perfect if you know how to pack them smartly. We have several in our house, and the one thing that I always recommend is if you get a Loungefly that has the sequins, or like this one, like with the Merry, how it has the goat head on it. We don't purchase ones that have extra bits on it that's either going to fall off or get dirty or nasty. So just take into consideration. So like this mini Lilo and Stitch one, perfect idea, especially, for anybody in your Ohana. The Mikey statue. Look at that. It's $100 off, and there's only one left. So who is your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan? Like, go get that. Cinnamon roll, like Barbies. Raph, why Raph? Why Mikey's only one left when I think that it should be Raph? If Lauren, you're still watching, here we go, the Daredevil, because I think you'd be blind as a bat like Matt. And it's painted like the Spider-Man animated series. And let me tell you, the painting on these are fantastic. You can't go wrong with one of them. They sit right on your shelf. It's a beautiful thing. The Witcher 3. Again, it's nearly $200 off its original price. Yes, there's a lot of money to put out here. Whoever came up with the idea of doing this, I don't know. Sonic plushes. And then I wanted to finish off, for your Disney fans, these Jim Shore statues. If you're not familiar with these are great. I absolutely adore them. You can find them in a lot of stores, particularly like Hallmark stores. I love that it's a very classic look to the character, but then, they're throwing this little bit of whimsy and so on. So you got the little swirls and curls. I adore this. I know I have one up on my shelf. I might be getting another one if my wife's not watching right now. And then there was also, where'd they go? They disappeared. Did they run out? Oh, look at that. Sold out, sold out, sold out. Did it get sorted somewhere else? I don't know. It disappeared. Maybe it's gone. Sorry, I was setting stuff up beforehand. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the world of Cyber Monday and all the deals you can be getting out there. So again, just be a smart holiday shopper. Take your time. If you have someone in your life that happens to be a nerd or a geek or has a particular franchise that they love, or if they're a massive collector like myself, I've got things of all over. Heck, I even got Christmas lights going tonight. Take your time. Ask them. Show a little bit of love to them, because maybe they're not collecting right now Power Rangers Lightning Collection, but they're a Power Ranger person. Don't go out of the way to get more Power Ranger figures. Ask them, hey, what do you want? What would you like? Ask them, hey, give me a few ideas. That way it throws them up that you don't know what they're going to get. Go. If you have, ask your in-laws. Hey, I know that Tom likes da 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 da. What figures does he have? Ask their spouse or in-law or whatnot to go and take a quick picture. And then you can, find out, oh, he has that one. He had that have on. Okay, we can do that. Also, I know over at Nacelle Company, they're having a great deal as well. Um, so yeah, there's a great 2-pack from RoboForce. Can't go wrong with that. Just remember that because I was looking over my Biker Mice figures. But yeah, take your time. We all appreciate it when you take the time to figure out, what exactly we would like to add to our collection. Don't break your bank because trust me, it's the thought that counts, but also thinking about paying your next bill. But as always, folks, there's a big holiday season coming up. There's a lot of fantastic plastic out on the shelves, and we want you to make sure that you're buying smartly and, saving a buck at the same time. So on that note, thank you for stopping in and watching us here on nerdinitiative.com. Make sure, as always, that as we always tell you to do, is you're going to make sure you subscribe. You're going to hit that bell for notifications, and then you're going to smack that thumbs up to let Michael, the GEO, know that we're doing our job and we're doing it well. Again, next week, we're going to have some more stuff come up. We're going to have our holiday stocking stuffer special. And then we're even going to do our year in review where everybody from the bullpen, we're all going to chip in and talk about our particular favorite figures. So this is going to be a December to remember. As always, folks, my name's Off the Cuff Tom. Thank you for joining us here on Nerd Initiative. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and catch you in the next one. I'm out.